you will find that Russian is not an entirely alien language, because English and Russian come from the same family of languages, the Indo-European family. They belong to different branches of this family. English to the Germanic branch and Russian to the Slavic branch. So, English and Russian can be considered cousins, and like many cousins, they have a lot in common, a lot of similarities. They share some common Indo-European roots. Some of the oldest words are similar. For example, if we take names of relatives, the English word brother, for instance, is brat in Russian. Only the th sound, the, in English does not exist in Russian, and it's the, brat, instead of brother. Or take sister, the English sister in Russian is sestra. Same word, different stress. For instance, if you take the pronoun I, the English I in Russian is ya. It's the same word, just the other way round, isn't it? And ya. Or the friendly you, ты, the Russian ты, which does not exist in English now, but it used to exist, and it was thou. Thou and ты are the same words, again, the and t consonants. Or take an old word, water. Water is voda in Russian. W, the word sound does not exist in Russian, and it's v. And the stress is different, so water is voda, same word. Or the numeral two. Two in English, T-W-O, dva in Russian. Again, W becomes v, dva. Apart from that, there are many borrowings in Russian from different languages, particularly from English. According to some research, 40% of newspaper language are international words, and they are mainly English again. And the number of English words is actually growing in modern Russian, and is growing at the rate of about 5 to 7 words a day. There are a lot of borrowings from German in Russian, which happened in the 18th century when Peter the Great was trying to westernize Russia. For instance, if you take the Russian word Butterbrot, Butterbrot is German, bread and butter, butter and bread, which is an open sandwich in Russian, Butterbrot. There are many borrowings from French, which happened in the 19th century, and many words associated with art and theatre come from French. Just take the word theatre itself. Theatre is théâtre, where again, th, th, becomes th, théâtre. But most of the borrowings again come from English, and most of them come to be borrowed in the 20th century. All the words from politics and economics come from English. The word politics itself, politics, is politika. Again, stress is different. Or sport. The word sport itself is sport. The English spelling sport, you have R, and you do sound it in Russian. The R is always R. Sport is the Russian word. Or take the word bank, and that's exactly the same word, bank. The letter A in Russian is always pronounced A. Can only be pronounced A, unlike in English, A can be pronounced in different ways. So bank is bank. Or the word president is exactly the same word, президент. Again, you sound the R. Президент is the same word, but the stress is different. Often the stress is different, and that makes a word less recognizable. But it's just the stress, otherwise it's the same word. You will notice that Russian uses often fewer words than English to express the same idea, which is very convenient. For example, to say this is, in Russian, you just use one word, one little word, это, это. There are no words for a and the in Russian. And also there is no is, am, and are. So, this is a bank. This is это. How do you say this is a bank?
Это банк.
Это банк. Make your intonation falling. It's a statement. Это банк. This is a bank. Or this is a theatre. Or this is the theatre, which is the same. What's the theatre?
Театр.
Theater. Yes. This is a theatre.
Это театр.
Good. Это театр. And how do you say this is the Bolshoi theatre? The word Bolshoi, again, is the stress that is different. The proper way to pronounce Bolshoi in Russian is Большой. So this is the Bolshoi theatre.
Это большой театр.
Это Большой театр. This is a president.
Это президент.
Это президент. Or this is the president. No difference. What is I in Russian? The pronoun I?
Я.
Я. So how do you say this is I? Or in English you say this is me.
Это я.
Это я. It's I, it's me. The word tourist. How would you pronounce the word tourist, do you think? The stress will shift to the ending.
Turist.
Tourist. The sound, the letter O, to pronounce it, protrude your lips as far as you can. Tourist. So how do you say, I am a tourist?
Я турист.
Я турист. Engineer. Engineer, again the R sound will sound in Russian R. Engineer is инженер. So how do you say, I'm an engineer?
Я инженер.
Инженер, it's
Я инженер.
Yes, you spell the English E, which in Russian is yeah.
Я инженер.
Инженер.
Я инженер.
Very good. Я инженер. Now, to turn a sentence into a question, you don't need any helping words. You don't need to change the word order in the sentence. The only thing that you do is you change your intonation. So, to change a statement into a question, you raise your voice on the word that you question. So, for example, the sentence, this is a theatre. How did we say this is a theatre?
Это театр.
We said, это театр. It's a statement, you lower your voice.
Это театр.
Very good. Это театр. Now, to ask, is this a theatre? You raise your voice on the stressed syllable of театр. Это театр. Это театр. So how would you ask, is this a bank?
Это банк.
Это банк. Excuse me, or I'm sorry, is извините. I'll say it again, slowly. Извините. Извините sounds a little bit like easy win and need. So easy winning and neat word, isn't it? Извините. So how do you say, excuse me, is this the Bolshoi Theatre?
Извините. Это большой театр.
Извините, это Большой театр? Excuse me, is this a bank?
Извините, это банк?
Very good. Извините, это банк? Now, yes in Russian is да. Да. So how do you say yes? this is a bank.
Да, это банк.
Да, это банк. Yes, this is the Bolshoi Theatre.
Да, это большой театр.
Да, это большой театр. Accent the word театр. Да, это большой театр. Now, good or well is хорошо. Хорошо, I'll pronounce it slowly. And when I pronounce slowly, I pronounce the word syllable by syllable. And it is хорошо. You can hear 3 O letters there. But it's only the last O that is accented. So the first 2 you pronounce as A. So it becomes хорошо. Хорошо. Sounds like car ashore. Car ashore when sailors, shout all ashore. Instead, when you arrive to Calais, they might shout car ashore. Хорошо. So, how do you say this is good?
Это хорошо.
Very good. Хорошо. Это хорошо. And if we turn it into a question, the stressed syllable is the last one. Хорошо. How do you ask? Is it good? All right?
Это хорошо?
You can say это хорошо. Is it good? Or just this word хорошо on its own is all right?
Хорошо.
Raise your voice higher.
Хорошо.
Хорошо? That was good. Хорошо. Very, the word very is очень. The first O is accented. Очень. Очень sounds like English orchard, doesn't it? So you place an orchard in front of the word that you want to use very with. Очень. So how do you say very good?
Очень хорошо.
Очень хорошо. Очень хорошо.
Is it очень with a g, a hard G sound, or just очень?
No, there is no J. I'll say it again. Очень.
Очень.
What you hear is the soft n in the ending. Очень. This is something that your ear should get used to. It's the soft consonants in Russian. In Russian, you distinguish between hard and soft consonants. Sometimes you call them slender in English. They sound slender, the soft consonants, or light. Now that we are on the subject of soft and hard consonants, let's go back to the word theatre. Театр. The first театр.
It's almost
is
a
a
TZ sound.
It does sound a little bit like it because there is some friction there, because it is a high, slender sound. Театр.
Театр.
Yes. So how did you say the Bolshoi Theatre again?
Большой театр.
Yes, большой театр. The same happens in the word большой. The L, the L is soft. Большой театр.
Большой театр.
Большой театр. The soft, the light, the slender L. L. Большой театр. Say, this is the Bolshoi Theatre.
Это большой театр.
Это большой театр. What is very?
Очень.
Try to pronounce the N soft again. Очень.
Очень.
Yes. Very good.
Очень, очень хорошо.
Очень хорошо. Very good or very well. Now, the word for no is нет. Нет. Again, the soft не, нет. So, нет is no, and the word for not is just не. So you drop the t from нет. Не, another soft n. Two negative words, and there is a tendency in all European languages that N is a negative letter, negative sound. So, no is нет. And,
Нет.
and not, what is not?
Не.
Не. So how do you say not a bank?
Не банк.
Не банк, yes. When you pronounce the negation, try not to accent it, but rather pronounce it linked to the next word. Не театр. So how do you say this is not a theatre?
Не театр.
And what is this is?
Это.
Right. This is not
Это не.
the theatre.
Это не театр.
Very good. Say it again, please.
Это не театр.
Это не театр.
Это не театр.
Very good. Очень хорошо. This is not a bank.
Это не банк.
Try to accent the word bank now.
Это не банк.
Это не банк. No, this is not a bank.
Нет. Это не банк.
Нет, это не банк. No, this is not a bank. This is a theatre.
Нет, это не банк, это театр.
Нет, это не банк. Это театр. The word for tea is chai. Chai. It is derived from the word China because it comes from China. Chai. So how do you ask a question? Is this tea?
Это чай?
Yes, you raise your voice on the last word. Это чай? Это чай? No, this is not tea. This is coffee. Coffee is the same word.
Нет, это не чай, это кофе.
Нет, это не чай. Это кофе. The word for problem is проблема. You just add a to the English word. Проблема. So, how do you ask the question, is this a problem?
Это проблема?
You raise your voice only on the stressed syllable of the word. So, это проблема. Is this a problem? Это проблема. No, this is not a problem.
Нет. Это не проблема.
Remember not to accent не. Go to the next word and link не to it. Try it again.
Нет. Это не проблема.
That was very good. Нет, это не проблема. What is good?
Хорошо.
Хорошо. Very good.
Очень хорошо.
Очень хорошо. How do you say not very good?
Не очень хорошо.
Yes, again, don't accent не, but go to the next words.
Не очень хорошо.
Very good. Не очень хорошо. This is not very good.
Это не очень хорошо.
Это не очень хорошо. The word for train station is вокзал. It is derived from the English word Vauxhall, and it is Vauxhall. When Russian engineers were taken to Vauxhall, when they were going to build their first railway station, they thought that it was the name for the word station. So that's how it originated in Russian. Вокзал. Вокзал. So, how do you ask? Excuse me, is this the station?
Извините, это вокзал?
Извините, это вокзал? No, this is not the station. This is the metro. Now, the word metro is the same word, only the stress shifts to the ending. Metro. So, this is not a station. This is the metro.
Нет. Это не вокзал. Это метро.
Нет, Это не вокзал, это метро. The word here as in this place, here, is здесь. Здесь. Can you hear the very, very soft s in the end? Здесь, here, sounds like stays here, stays here, stays here, здесь. How do you ask the question? Is it here?
Это здесь?
Это здесь? Yeah. Try to sing yeah.
Это здесь?
Это здесь? This is not here.
Это не здесь?
Are you asking the question or are you making a statement?
Это не здесь.
Okay, хорошо. Это не здесь. The metro is here.
Метро здесь.
Здесь.
Метро здесь.
Метро здесь. The word but is no. No. Another negative word, another N letter. No, but. So how do you say the metro is here, but the station is not here?
Метро здесь, но вокзал не здесь.
Don't accent the не. Go to the next word. Say it again, please.
Метро здесь, но вокзал не здесь.
Да. Метро здесь, но вокзал не здесь. The English ending, which you read shn, spelled T-I-O-N, shn, in Russian is tsiya, tsiya. For example, intonation is интонация. How would you say intuition?
Intuitia?
Intuiция. And how do you say revolution?
Революция.
Революция. Yes. And tradition?
Традиция?
Традиция. How do you say this is a tradition?
Это традиция.
Very good. Это традиция. And how do you ask the question? For instance, all the Russians are sitting around you and drinking vodka. How do you ask, is this a tradition?
Это традиция?
Very good. Это традиция.
There are lots of other words like that.
Oh, there are lots of them.
Construction, instruction.
How do you say construction?
Конструкция.
So the letter U is U. Конструкция. Protrude your lips.
Конструкция.
Да. Конструкция.
Конструкция.
And you wanted instruction?
Инструкция.
Again, another U. Instrukция. And the word registration, the G, the J in Russian is G. So registration becomes, what do you think?
Регистрация?
Exactly. Регистрация. In English it happens as well. Registration, you read G as J, but the word give, you read the same letter G, G as G. Yes? So it is регистрация. How do you say, excuse me, is the registration here?
Извините, это регистрация здесь?
Do you need это here? I didn't ask you to say, this is registration. How do you say, this is registration?
Это регистрация.
Yes, это регистрация. But the registration is here.
Регистрация здесь.
Right, now let's turn it into a question.
Регистрация здесь?
Exactly. Регистрация здесь. Now, excuse me, is the registration here?
Извините, регистрация здесь?
Very good. Извините, регистрация здесь? The registration is here, but the conference is not here. Now, conference, you have the same ending, ция. So, the registration is here.
Регистрация здесь,
But the conference is not here.
но конференция
Mhm.
не здесь. Не здесь.
Не здесь.
Не здесь.
Will you say it again, please?
Регистрация здесь, но конференция не здесь.
Не здесь.
Не здесь.
So, регистрация здесь, но конференция не здесь. Okay? What is information?
Informacja.
Yes, информация. The information is here.
Informacja здесь.
Здесь.
Informacja здесь.
Информация здесь. Yes. And how do you turn it into a question and ask, is the information here?
Информация здесь.
Информация здесь. How do you say, I am here? I am here.
Я здесь.
Я здесь. You, the polite you, in Russian is вы. Вы. So how do you ask, is this you?
Это вы?
Exactly. Это вы? Are you here?
Вы здесь?
You are asking the question, so you pronounce the word you're asking about at the highest pitch of your voice.
Вы здесь?
Вы здесь? Yes. Вы здесь? How do you say, I am an engineer? What's engineer again?
Инженер.
Yes. Инженер.
Инженер.
Yes. So I am an engineer.
Я инженер.
Я инженер. And how do you say, I am a tourist? Tourist will be the same word, but the stress is at the ending.
Я турист.
Да, я турист. Now, the word for all, meaning everything, is всё. Всё. And the word for all, meaning everybody, is все. Все. So, всё, or sounding всё, is everything, and все is everybody.
They both had an F sound at the beginning. Всё or все.
Yes. They're almost the same word, these two. Всё and все. So how do you say everything is here?
Всё здесь.
Make sure you pronounce again in this word всё, you pronounce the s, soft, slender. Всё.
Всё здесь.
Всё здесь.
Всё здесь.
That was good. Soft. Всё здесь. And what is everybody?
Все.
Все is everybody. And how do you say everybody is here?
Все здесь.
Accent the word here.
Все здесь.
Все.
Все здесь.
Okay. Все здесь. Now let's turn it into a question. Is everybody here? And you are asking about the word все.
Все здесь.
Okay, that is good. Then you are accenting here, asking is everybody here or not here? Say it again, please.
Все здесь.
Now you are making it a statement. Everybody is here. So raise your voice on the word that you are asking about. The sentence is все здесь. That's a statement. Turn it into a question.
Все здесь?
Exactly. Все здесь. But you can also accent the word everybody, meaning is everybody here or not everybody?
Все здесь.
Very good. Все здесь. How do you say everything is good?
Все хорошо.
Okay, only pronounce все soft. Все.
Все хорошо.
That was very good. Все хорошо. Shall we turn it to a question? Is everything all right? Is everything good?
Все хорошо.
Okay, that's possible. Все хорошо. Or you can raise your voice on the word good.
Все хорошо.
That was very good. Все хорошо? Is everything good? Well. How do you ask? Is it all? Is that all? Is that it? Let's do a statement. This is all. This is it.
Это все.
Exactly. Это все. Now let's turn it to a question. Is that all?
Это все.
Raise your voice on все. Это все? Yes, this is all.
Да, это все.
Да, это все. Very well. What's very?
Очень,
Очень. And very well?
очень хорошо.
Да. Очень хорошо. The word for far, far away, is далеко. Далеко. Sounds like dull echo. Dull echo, dull echo, dull echo. When imagine yourself being far, far away in the field, and you can hear dull echo of the thunder. Yes? Далеко. How do you ask? Excuse me, is the station far?
Извините, это вокзал далеко?
You started saying, excuse me, is this a station? And that would be, извините, это вокзал? And I wanted you to say, excuse me, is the station far?
Извините, вокзал далеко?
Извините, вокзал далеко? Is this far away?
Это далеко?
Very good. Это далеко? No, this is not far.
Нет, это недалеко.
Okay, that's possible. If you really, really want to emphasize the not, then you do accent it.
Нет, это недалеко.
Нет, это недалеко. Недалеко. How do you say not very far away? Not very far.
Не очень далеко.
Yes. Не очень далеко. This is not very far.
Это не очень далеко.
Да, это не очень далеко. What was everything again?
Все.
Все. How do you say everything is not far?
Все недалеко.
Все недалеко. Here, everything is not far. What's here?
Здесь.
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 Let's sound здесь.
Здесь.
Yes, здесь. So here, everything is not far.
Здесь все недалеко.
Да. Now say it with more confidence, please.
Здесь, sorry, здесь все недалеко.
Здесь все недалеко. Everything is not far here. The bank, the restaurant, the bar.
Все недалеко здесь. Банк, ресторан, бар.
Okay, yes. It sounds a little bit nicer, more elegant, elegantno, if you place the word here at the beginning of the sentence. Get rid of it from the very start. So everything is not far here. Here is not everything far.
Здесь все недалеко.
Да. Здесь все недалеко. Very good.
Очень хорошо.
Да. Очень хорошо. Interesting is интересно. Интересно. So how do you say very interesting?
Очень интересно.
Очень интересно. This is interesting.
Это интересно.
Интерес. Not z, but s. Say it again.
Это интересно.
Это интересно. This is not interesting.
Это неинтересно.
Or go past не to the next word.
Это неинтересно.
Это неинтересно. Everything is very interesting.
Все очень интересно.
That was good. Only let's try and pronounce все soft. Все.
Все очень интересно.
Все очень интересно. The word strange is странно. Странно. So, how do you say very strange?
Очень странно.
Странно. You just spell it with two N and you prolong it. Странно. So say it again.
Очень странно.
Да. That was good. Очень странно. Now, what was interesting again?
Интересно. Интересно.
Интересно. This word on its own also means I wonder. Интересно. I wonder. So how do you say, I wonder whether it is far? I wonder, is it far?
Интересно. Это далеко?
Интересно. Это далеко? The word for or is или. Или. How do you ask the question, I wonder whether it is tea or coffee? I wonder, is it tea or coffee?
Я интересно.
How do we say I wonder? I wonder is just one word. Interesting. What is interesting?
Интересно.
I wonder is the same.
Интересно.
I wonder, is it tea or coffee?
Интересно. Чай?
And how do you say it is?
Это. Интересно. Это чай или кофе?
Yes. Интересно. Это чай или кофе? And how do you ask, excuse me, is this tea or coffee?
Извините, это чай или кофе?
Very good. Извините, это чай или кофе? How do you say tea and coffee are here? The word for and is E, just one letter, E. So how do you say tea and coffee?
Чай и кофе.
Чай и кофе. How would you say tea and coffee are here?
Чай и кофе – это
What is here?
здесь.
Здесь. And I wanted you to say tea and coffee are here. There is no are, there is no is, there is no am. So tea and coffee are here.
Чай и кофе здесь.
Да.
Can you put this здесь first?
Yes, you can put здесь first. Try здесь first.
Здесь чай и кофе.
Yes. Здесь чай и кофе. What you've just said is here, there's tea and coffee. Or you can say tea and coffee here, are here. Say it again.
Чай и кофе здесь.
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 Да. Чай и кофе здесь. The restaurant and the bar are here.
Ресторан и бар здесь.
Ресторан и бар здесь. The word for what, the question what, is что. Что. Что also means that, as in the sentence, for example, I think that this is tea. So what and that is one and the same word. So it's что. So how would you ask the question, what is this?
Что здесь?
What you just asked?
Is what is here.
Yes, you said, what is here?
Что это?
And now you've asked, what is this? Only, please don't raise your voice on this question. Because when you have a question word in Russian, you don't raise your voice, because you don't need to. You know it's a question. So, how do you ask the question, what is this? Or in English it can be, what is that?
Что это?
Yes, don't raise your voice, because you have the question word.
Что это?
Exactly. Что это? What is this? I wonder what it is.
Интересно.
I wonder what is this?
Интересно, что это?
Да. Интересно, что это? Or you can accent что. Интересно, что это? And how do you ask, I wonder what is here?
Интересно, что здесь?
Интересно, что здесь? So the question, what is here?
Что здесь?
Что здесь? I wonder what is here.
Интересно,
Интересно,
интересно, что здесь?
да. Интересно, что здесь? Here, there's a bank. Here is the bank.
Здесь это банк.
If you want to say, this is a bank, then you say,
Это банк.
это банк. This is a bank, это банк. But the bank is here.
Банк здесь.
Банк здесь. Yes. Банк здесь. The bank is here. How do you say, very strange?
Очень странно.
Странно, prolong the n. There are two n letters. Очень странно.
Очень странно.
Да, очень странно. The word for police is the same word as militia. And how do you pronounce militia?
Милиция.
Yes. How do you say, the police, the militia, is here?
Милиция здесь.
Милиция здесь. How do you say, it is good that the police is here?
Хорошо, что милиция здесь.
Да. Хорошо, что милиция здесь. And how do you say, it's strange that the militia is here?
Странно, что милиция здесь.
Странно, что милиция здесь. It is good that everything is not far here.
Хорошо, что здесь
Everything is not far.
все недалеко.
Да.
But you wouldn't necessarily need the that there, the что, would you? It's,
You
it's,
would.
it's good everything isn't far.
That's what you say in English.
Okay.
Yes. It's good that everything is not far. Хорошо, что здесь все недалеко. Now, the word for where is где. Где. Again, this same е vowel as in все and здесь. So where is где? How do you ask the question? Where is the police?
Где милиция?
Где militia.
Because the question is already in the word, isn't it?
Yes.
The where.
Exactly. You're talking about the intonation now, aren't
Yeah.
you? Yes? When there is a question word, you don't need to raise the intonation because you know it's a question. So, once again, where is the police?
Gdzie milicja?
Где милиция? Where is the information?
Gdzie informacja?
Will you please sound the R?
Gdzie informacja?
That was a very good information. Где информация? And how do you ask, where is the registration?
Gdzie registracja?
You don't need to raise your voice again.
Gdzie registracja?
Да. Где регистрация? So, I wonder where the police is. I wonder is the same word as interesting.
Интересно, где милиция? Милиция.
Right. Say it with more confidence, please.
Интересно, где милиция?
Да. Интерес. It's not z, but s.
Интересно, где милиция?
That was very good. Интересно, где милиция? I wonder where it is. What is it is?
Это.
I wonder where it is.
Интересно, где это?
Интересно, где это? And you can accent где because this is what you're asking about. Интересно, где это? What is the word for everybody?
Все.
Да, все. Where is everybody?
Где все?
Да, где все? I wonder where everybody is.
Интересно, где все?
Да. Интересно, где все? And how do you ask, I wonder where everything is? What's everything?
Все.
Pronounce it soft.
Все.
That's good. Say it again.
Все.
That was very good. Все. I wonder where everything is.
Интересно, где все?
That was good. Интересно, где все? How do you ask the question, excuse me, where is the telephone? The word for telephone is the same word accented on the ending. Excuse me, where is the telephone?
Извините, где телефон?
Извините, где телефон? The word for possible, it is possible, or one can, or one may, is just one word in Russian. Можно. 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 So, if you ask it as a question, just this word will mean may I. So how do you say may I?
Можно?
Raise your voice as far, as high as you can. Можно. You raise your voice on the accented syllable.
Можно.
Exactly. Можно. And that is, may I? It can mean, may I come in? Or, may I have this? May I take it? Just, можно? How do you say, yes you can? Yes you may?
Да, можно.
Да, можно. How do you ask for coffee? Saying, can I have coffee? Just using this one word.
Можно кофе?
Will you raise your voice on this word may I?
Можно кофе?
Just this little word? Можно.
Можно кофе?
Можно кофе? You're asking about whether you may have it. So you raise your voice on the may word. And how do you ask for tea?
Можно. Можно. Можно чай.
Можно чай? Can I have the menu? The menu, again, is the same word accented on the ending. So how do you say menu?
Menu.
Menu. So can I have the menu?
Można menu.
Will you raise your voice higher on the word asking for permission?
Można menu.
Można menu.
Można menu.
How do you say everything is possible?
Всё можно.
Да. Всё можно. There is a polite word in Russian, a very polite word, and it is пожалуйста. Пожалуйста. If you pronounce this word quickly, it sounds like пожалуйста, 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 which means both please when asking for something and here you are when giving something. So, how do you ask for coffee?
Кофе, пожалуйста.
Кофе, пожалуйста. And asking for tea?
Чай, пожалуйста.
Чай, пожалуйста. Yes. And if you are giving coffee to somebody and saying, here you are?
Пожалуйста.
Yes, the same word, the same polite, posh word, because you can use it in many situations. Пожалуйста. So, coffee? Yes, please.
Кофе? Да, пожалуйста.
Very good. Да, пожалуйста. Let's do it with tea. Tea? Yes, please.
Чай? Да, пожалуйста.
Чай? Да, пожалуйста. Now, thank you is спасибо. Спасибо. There are 3 syllables in this word. Spa, si, and bar. The 3 destinations. Spa, si, bar. Спасибо, stressed in the middle. Спасибо. So how do you say no, thank you?
Нет, спасибо.
Нет, спасибо. Or you can turn the words around.
Спасибо, нет.
Спасибо, нет. Thank you for something. Thank you for. For is за. За. So how do you say thank you for the tea?
Спасибо за чай.
Да, спасибо за чай. Only don't accent за. Go to the next word. Thank you for the coffee.
Спасибо за кофе.
Very good. Спасибо за кофе. How do you think the word souvenir will sound in Russian? Souvenir.
Souvenir.
Souvenir. How do you say thank you for the souvenir?
Спасибо за сувенир.
Very good. Спасибо за сувенир. And how do you say thank you for this?
Спасибо за это.
Да. Спасибо за это. And what do you answer to this? You're welcome. What do you think is the word? You're welcome. Not at all. A polite, a posh word.
Пожалуйста.
Пожалуйста.
Exactly. Пожалуйста. A verb is a to word in English, like to do, to think, to know, and so on. Now, this to, the English to, in Russian, you don't have a separate word for it. So instead, there is an ending, ts, the soft ts, which is an indication of the to form of the English verb. Practically all to forms of verbs in Russian end in ts. For example, the verb to buy is купить. Купить is to buy. Купить. Think of a co-op shop. Yes, co-op. If you pronounce it together, it's ku, isn't it? Protrude your lips. Купить.
Купить.
Да, купить is to buy. So, how do you say it is possible to buy? It is possible, or one can, or one may. May is just one word.
Можно купить.
Yes, можно купить. One can buy, one may buy, or it is possible to buy. Можно купить. how do you ask the question? Where is it possible to buy this? Where?
Где можно купить
This.
это?
Да, that's possible. Где можно купить это? But let us place the word это after где.
Где это можно купить?
Very good. Only don't raise your voice, because you have the question word here. You don't need to. Once again.
Где это можно купить?
Да. Где это можно купить? What was the word for souvenir?
Souvenir.
Да, souvenir. To make it souvenirs in the plural, you add «y». It becomes souveniry.
Souveniri.
Souveniry is souvenirs. So, how do you ask the question, where can one buy souvenirs?
Где можно купить сувениры?
Где можно купить сувениры? Souvenirs can be bought here, or one can buy souvenirs here. Souvenirs can be bought here.
Здесь сувенири можно купить.
It is possible to say that, because the word order is quite free in Russian. But let's start with souvenirs. Souvenirs is possible to buy here.
Сувенири можно купить здесь.
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 Yes. Сувениры можно купить здесь. Now, the word for newspaper is газета. Газета, ending in a. Газета. So, how would you say newspapers?
Газеты.
Газеты. Газеты. Newspapers. And the word for journal or magazine is журнал. Журнал is, ooh, you protrude your lips on it. Журнал. So, how would you say journals?
Журналы.
Журналы. The stress remains on a. Журналы. Let's say newspapers and magazines.
Газеты и журналы.
Газеты и журналы. Let's ask the question now. Where can one buy newspapers and magazines?
Где можно купить газеты и журналы?
Где можно купить газеты и журналы? Newspapers and magazines can be bought here.
Газеты и журналы можно купить здесь.
Let's sing здесь.
Здесь. Здесь.
Once again,
Здесь.
please. Newspapers and magazines can be bought here.
Газеты и журналы можно купить здесь.
Здесь. Газеты и журналы можно купить здесь. What do you think icons is?
Иконы.
Да, иконы. How do you ask the question, where can one buy icons?
Где можно купить иконы?
Где можно купить иконы? I wonder where one can buy icons.
Интересно. Где можно купить иконы?
Yes, only let us pronounce the word interesting again.
Интересно.
Да. Интересно, где можно купить иконы? The word for ticket is a French word, is билет. Билет. How would you say tickets?
Билеты.
Да, билеты. So a ticket, билет, tickets, билеты. Where can one buy tickets?
Где можно купить билеты?
Где можно купить билеты? And where can I buy a ticket?
Где можно купить билет?
Да. Где можно купить билет? The verb for to smoke sounds very much like to buy. And what was to buy again?
Купить.
Купить. And to smoke is курить. Курить.
Курить.
Yes, курить. How do you ask the question? May I smoke or can one smoke?
Можно курить?
Let us raise the voice on the word можно.
Можно курить?
Raise it higher.
Можно курить?
Exactly, that was good. Можно курить? Is it possible to smoke here? Start with here.
Здесь можно курить.
Здесь можно курить? Where can one smoke?
Где можно курить?
Now, one shouldn't, or one is not allowed, or one is forbidden, or it is not possible. Again, it's just one word in Russian. And the word is нельзя. 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 It reminds me of Nelson. Нельзя. Yes, so imagine Nelson standing on his column and saying to everyone, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Not allowed. Нельзя. How would you say no? It's not possible. No, you shouldn't.
Нет, нельзя.
Да. Нет, нельзя. If you're asking for permission to come in, how do you ask the permission to come in?
Пожалуйста.
That's when I have already asked you, may I? And you can answer, пожалуйста. But how do you ask? May I? Can I? Is it possible?
Можно?
Yes, raise your voice on the stressed syllable, please.
Можно.
Raise your voice.
Можно.
Да. Можно. No, you can't.
Нет. Нельзя?
Да. Нет, нельзя. No, you can't.
And the stress is on the second syllable.
The
Нельзя.
stress, yes, the stress is on the ending.
Yeah.
Yes, on the ending. Нельзя, on the last syllable. How do you ask what is possible?
Что можно?
Что можно? And what is not allowed?
Что нельзя?
Yes, let's ask the whole question. What is allowed and what is not?
Что можно и что нельзя?
Exactly. Что можно и что нельзя? How do you say everything is possible?
Все можно.
Все можно. Everything is allowed. How do you say you are not allowed to smoke? You shouldn't smoke?
Не можно.
This does not exist.
Нельзя.
Нельзя means...
Нельзя курить.
Yes. Say it again, please.
Нельзя курить.
Yes. Нельзя курить. You're not allowed to smoke. You're not allowed to smoke here. Here, smoking is not allowed.
Здесь нельзя курить.
Yes. Здесь нельзя курить. Excuse me. You cannot smoke here.
Извините.
Here,
Здесь не курить.
that's possible. You can actually say здесь не курить, but it sounds quite rude. What's you're not allowed? It's not possible.
Нельзя.
So here, you're not allowed to smoke.
Здесь нельзя не курить.
Нельзя is already not possible.
Got you. I understand. Здесь нельзя курить.
Yes. Здесь нельзя курить. And you forgot to say, excuse me, or I'm sorry. So, I'm sorry you're not allowed to smoke here.
Извините. Нельзя Здесь нельзя курить.
Yes. Извините, здесь нельзя курить. It is not possible to buy icons. Or icons cannot be bought. Start with icons.
Иконы нельзя купить.
Yes. Иконы нельзя купить. All right. So that was the verb to smoke, курить, and to buy, купить. The verb to know is знать, знать, знать. Reminds me of snorting, only different vowel there. Snort, знать, знать. Soft in the ending. To say I know, you remove the t from the to form of the verb and you replace it with you. So to know is знать and I know is я знаю. So how do you say I know?
Я знаю.
Я знаю. I know everything.
Я знаю все.
Pronounce it soft, please.
Все.
Всё. Всё.
Все.
That was good. Say it again.
Все.
Да. So, I know everything.
Я знаю все.
Всё. Я знаю всё. You can turn the words around and please place everything in front of the verb.
Все я знаю.
I know everything.
Я знаю все.
Or place everything in front of the verb.
Все я знаю.
Start with I again.
Я.
Everything.
Okay, I, everything. No. Я все знаю.
Я всё знаю. I know everything. Yes. Or я знаю всё is fine too. You just place more emphasis on it when you place it at the end of the sentence. Yes. And how do you say I don't know? I not know. What is not?
Не.
So I don't know.
Я не знаю.
Да. Я не знаю. I don't know.
But so they're eliding the не and the знаю. Я не знаю.
The negation не is always linked to the word it negates. So you pronounce them as one word, but you know it's a separate one. So I don't know. Я не знаю. What was the question where?
Где?
Где? So how do you say I don't know where I am?
Я не знаю, где это.
You've just said I don't know where it
It
is,
is.
which is a good sentence to say.
Yes.
And I wanted you to say I don't know where I am. There's no am, there's no is, there's no are. So, I don't know where I.
Я не знаю, где я.
Exactly. Я не знаю, где я. It's nice to accent где because this is what you don't know. Я не знаю, где я. The word for bus in Russian, bus, is actually an auto bus. And auto in Russian is авто. Авто. So the word for a bus is автобус. Автобус. So, how do you say, where is the bus?
Где автобус?
Very good. Где автобус? I don't know where the bus is.
Я не знаю, где автобус.
Very good. Я не знаю, где автобус. I know where the taxi is, but I don't know where the bus is. Taxi is the same word accented on the ending.
Я знаю такси.
Where? the taxi?
Где такси? So, я знаю, где такси, но не знаю автобус.
Where the bus
Где
is.
автобус?
Автобус.
Автобус.
Good. Now will you say it again, please?
Я знаю, где такси, но не знаю, где автобус.
Very good. Автобус. Я знаю, где такси, но не знаю, где автобус. Or you can say, но я не знаю, где автобус. Repeating, я. How would you say, I don't know what it is?
Я не знаю, что это.
Exactly. Я не знаю, что это.